Well, good morning, YouTube. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Craig Tompkinson here. A little bit of an update on the batteries I just bought, the Giant 140s. Just to let you know, I've got this 100 litre freezer, Trailblazer. It's frozen with some fish in it. It sucks about 7 amps when it's running. It's pulling down to about 15 below. Now I've got this little 55 litre Mitso freezer. I kicked it over. It's been running for a couple of days. It's freezing a water bottle in the top, and it's because it's got a 10 litre freezer up in there. Now I've got this Gecko 95 litre freezer. It's got 27 litre freezer on the top. She's froze those bottles in the fridge in here. There's the kick-ass controller. Now, it was down to 13.2 overnight for the three of them running all night. 13.2, it's now 13.7. It's about, I forget what time it is. 9:30. Yeah, it's 9:30, or a little bit after. So 20 to 10. Now, I got the, I'll take you out and I'll show you. I have 4 of these. Now, there you go. Because I've got MPP, there's 30 metres of 6mm cable. I sold the others. I actually meant to keep one, but I sold it. So I got 35 metres of cable there through 6mm. That's tin wire. Now, because these are higher voltage panels, see, I got the 3. They're 175 watt panels, and their open array is 40 volts, I think. So because you got the higher voltage, what are they? Just here you can see them. Might not focus. They're 35, yeah, 40. What are they? Open circuit is 43.6. So I end up getting about 40 volts in there sometimes, and a little bit. Whoops, I think I've buggered it up here. I went and put that down. Just get them to the right angle in the sun. Yeah, so I got the 3. They're all lashed together, so because they're all the same panels, all the same voltage. I've got the 3 going into one line. That's how I run it. Then that comes across, you're getting between, depends on what the sun is doing, how many watts they're pumping. You get between 40 and 30 amps to get to the controller. So she's 13.4. She's 26.27 volts at the moment, getting here. And she's pumping in 19.2 amps are going into the battery. Now, and they're 13.9. That controller will cut off at 14.3, 14.4, and that's on float. So, what is it? 9:30 in the morning. Those three fridges could have pulled 100 amps out of those batteries last night. The Giant 140s. Sorry. In that, the Giant 140s. Got 2 of them linked together. Got the 3 fridges running. It's all fused. Being a tight ass, I just run 2 fuses. That was getting a bit warm, but she's just running beautiful now. Got 2 30 amp fuses in there. All these others have got 40 amp fuses between them. This one draws about 7 amps too. I got a little computer fan on the back of that one. She's just kicked in, just running away there. See, that just blows the cool air onto the motor. I'm going to do that to this one. This one's been fitted like it too. Put her on, and she just, as soon as the freezer starts and runs. This one's a 3500 RPM speed. It blows a lot of air. and I just flicked it on the 20 below freeze. And at the moment it's cold enough with just 15 below. Admittedly the temperature's been cool here at night, but yeah, so yeah, what is it, 9:30, and it's not a hot summer's day, it's a beautiful sunny day, but look at that. And 9:30, I'd say by 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning, but give it another hour and these batteries will be chockers, and she'll be, well, it's nearly, yeah, it's not far off, it's only 13.9, it's only got a little bit more to go and these batteries will be full, so another hour, so before midday anyway, and then she just percolates for the rest of the day then. Yeah, so everything's working great. Yeah, really happy with so far. It's just like I said, it's only the second or third night. It's first night I've had these on, and just fired them up. And they froze that. That freezes beautiful. She freezes 18 below there. That froze them overnight, just about frozen. By this afternoon, they're hard frozen. I'm just going to run these freezers here now for a week or two, off and on. I may have to buy another panel and put with that of the same size for when I go north, because the ambient temperature's up. But that's why I'm testing them now, and then I'll probably give these a good week or so's run. 10 days, 12 days, cost me nothing now. This one was on the power, that saved me money on the grid. So I just unhook that now and just let that percolate. I love to let things like that when I've set them up new, just let them run for a week or 2 weeks. What I've been finding, when you use these Anderson plugs, are getting 7 or 8 years old, and even the genuine Anderson plugs, I've been having a lot of trouble with. Even the genuine ones, see, I've had they crack along in here. That's a genuine one, and I just smash them to bits, and because the ends are soldered on, I just pull them and I buy another one and clip them up. I just had to fit a couple of new ones here. They split just here where they join together, and then they don't push the clamps together as good, even the genuine ones. And what I'm finding with these ones too, that even genuine ones, the pin on them that goes through where they push on each other, I'll show you. My gear, I've got a spare one here. Where these push in here, in there, I don't know if you can see that. Where they push down inside there, that spring, that piece of gets bent, and it doesn't put the pressure on. So you just get a knife or a screwdriver behind it, and you're slightly bending back out again. And then when they clamp together, one of these wasn't working out there, I had to do it. I just moved it back out a fraction, and bingo. She was went from about, I don't know, 14 amps to 20 amps nearly, because I got the 3 panels working then. And that's the beauty with having the one line. When I go north up the Cape or wherever, I can put all my gear in the shade and I can reach the, and because that's high voltage, it's pushing the power through that, even that 6 mil. See, it's as cold as anything. What the biggest killer is of it is when it's out laying in the sun like that, it heats up a bit and loses its ability to transfer. You could have bigger cables, but I find you don't need it because it just works. And because it's tin wire, it doesn't play up as much around the salt. But all right, I'll leave you with you, and I might put a bit more on it and let you know how it's going in a few days or a week. And I'll just let these fridges percolate away. We might even put some tucker in them and turn one of the fridges off in the house, because you know, you've got 100 something litres there. All right. Good morning, Craig Tompkinson here. Another little bit of an update. I had 3 solar panels, 3 175s on there. Now we're doing about 20 amps with the sun we were getting through the day here. Now it's 6:30 in the morning. The sun's just coming up there. You can see it. 6:30 here already. And I thought, right, I was told that doesn't matter. Your panels can be a little bit out. This one's, it does 48 or 50 or 60 open volt. They're about 43. So I did up and soldered another bit into the harness. I got the 4 panels all together going into one cord. And this is my idea. I was hoping this could happen. This is a 240 watt panel I got given to me by my mate Arthur. The others ones I paid $10 for. So now I've got the 30 metres of cable here, 6mm tin. With that sun pumping in there now, I was getting 16 out of the 3 before, or something. It's 15, 16. Now, I don't know if you can see that, it's made no difference. She's getting 20, 23 and a half. And that'll just climb through the day. I reckon she'll come up to 20. That one will be, I reckon I'll be getting 25 or 27 amps going into the batteries here later. And that's the difference. You can just keep, if I wanted to, I could put another one on there. As long as they're in that high voltage stuff, it doesn't seem to do anything different, do them. Around the same, within 10 or 12 volts, they just seem to... Maybe what would happen if I had 4 exactly the same size would be more efficient, because they're not fighting each other. Like, but coming into the controller, it doesn't seem to do much difference. It's all just blended in there together at 28 volts at the moment. So, yeah, but still pumping in. It's still getting the amps. I reckon that'll... If we had like a 30-degree day here, I'd be getting 30 amps easy. So there's a little bit of an update for you. Yeah, I'm just experimenting. I've never had them running in the one line. I've always had the 3 same size solar panels in the one line. But it looks like you can put the 4th one in, no worries at all. And different voltage. No, well, there's not a lot of different voltage. Maybe I lose a bit of efficiency from that, you know, the 180s, say close to, it might, instead of being 240, it drop a bit, but in the scheme of things. But I will try and poke around and get another panel that same size and see whether that makes a difference. The only thing with them is they're heavy. So that gives me, yeah, 240, 340, 440, 540, and 375s, 150, 600, nearly 700 odd amps. Watts, sorry. And you got to have twice what they say is a good rule of thumb. Twice the solar of the battery. So I've got 280. So I need 600, and I've got that now. And that seems to be perfect. So yeah, I'm happy with that. That just tells me what I was really worried about. This controller, I just thought it might only be 20 amp at 12 volt and 40 amp at 24 volt. But no, she seems to be putting it in there. I'd love to have had a Victron sitting beside it now, say a 40 or 50 amp Victron with Bluetooth, to see what it would do on the exact same power. It probably wouldn't be any difference. It wasn't the other day I plugged this one in, and I had it, that little Victron, I plugged it in, and it was doing exactly the same as the Kick-Ass, but the MPP, they're both MPP. But yeah, I love seeing that. Won't take much by 9 or 10 o'clock, and I reckon you'll see that climb up to 28, 29, could even go 30 amps today. Be lovely if it did. I don't know. It just depends on the heat of the day. The biggest killer now is these 6mm wires do 50 amps maximum, and I may have to double everything or go heavier wire on this side of the controller so it gets it in there. Just that piece there, I might just have to upgrade that to 8mm through there, which doesn't take much. It's all good. I could even just solder. No, it'd be easier just to go a bit of heavier wire. Yeah, okay. I'll leave it with you. Morning. It's day 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 1 or 2 or 3, I forget now. But have a look at the cloud. And this is why you got to have a heap of solar when you go away camping, in case you get weather like that. Or here on the east coast, if you're relying on light. I got 3 170s and a 240 there. So to give you an idea. And hopefully it's putting some power in. I'll have a look. Still doing 5-6 amps nearly. So the fridges aren't running, thank goodness, because of the cooler weather. So 13.5, so she's coming up. She was about 13.2 overnight. So even that is slowly putting power in. And hopefully, the trouble is, if you get ready a week of wet weather, it's where you got to have a backup. If you're on the east coast, you nearly need a generator because of the cloud, especially in the summer, in the wet season. Or what I do is sometimes hook the Toyota up to it, and that'll put 20 amps in and just keep it coming up. And because the lithium's charged so quick, once we get a bit of a break in the cloud here, hopefully we will, she'll be right. So yeah, those 4 panels, like I was saying the other day, they don't interfere with each other. They punch the power along that line. Because of the higher voltage, you don't have the amperage. So she's still getting here with 32 volts. That's just conditions, because as the power goes up, they're all 40 volt open panels, and the other one on the other side 60 open. So that's optimum. That's at the right temperature, and like sunshine up around Weeper or somewhere like that. And that's of course because I've got a long cable, 30 odd metres. There's a little bit of resistance in that, so even though there's not much, it struggles to get to 40 volts here. But it's better than a 19, because if you had 19 volts over that distance, because you got lower, your amps have got to come up, and it's trying to push through that. It's like trying to push water through a skinny hose. It just, so you go up with the volts and the amps drop, so then it carries the volts better. And this little doodad here, the MPP, does its magic and converts whatever's left over back into amps. That's why they're, see, she's up to nearly 8.5 amps now, which is keeping up really well. And look, just that little bit of sun coming out. Not much, but that's all she needs. She gets a bit of that through the day and she'll hold with it. All right, that's yeah, she's still, these are still frozen solid now, so that's why they're holding. This one's frozen. It's still got me fish in it from last year. Bit left. She's a 100 litre freezer. She needs a good clean out soon. I'll probably give them a week or so running and switch them off. That way. There she goes. She kicked in just because I opened the door. Now she's up to 9 volts. And it's just a matter of about every hour you just make sure, or every few hours, if the sun's out you don't have to worry. I'd love to have a couple of kick-ass or 300 watt panels, folding panels, just to see what they're like, but and do some comparisons. But it's, you know, $1,400 again. All right, I'll talk to you in the day or so and let you know how they're going still. Catch ya.